going to be other young writers
สวัสดีครับ
distinct from me.
Good afternoon
Blessing to the world
วัน
because
นี้
of
ครูโกรวมโลก มาตรงเวลาประมาณบ่าย3 โมงใช่ไหมวันนี้ไลฟ์จากห้องส่วนตัวนะครับห้องส่วนตัวของครูโกรGood afternoon everybody today is Sunday 17 October 2021 It's rain a lot rain almost all day today not so heavy but rain all day almost all day I'm at I'm in my private room now let's go there to the United World Pavilion over there to see whether we have any students. Then if we have no students, then we will come back here and I will show you how to change our filter for this water purifier. In order to go there against the rain, I have prepared umbrella with tripod, you know. วันนี้ก็ฝนตกเกือบทั้งวันนะครับตกมาเรื่อยๆมีตกแรงบ้างบางครั้งตกเบาบ้างนะครับรินบ้างก็ระดับน้ำก็ขึ้นมาอีกจากที่ลดลงไปเมื่ออาทิตย์ก่อนเนาะทีนี้เดี๋ยวเราจะเดินไปดูว่าที่ศาลารวมโลกเรามีคนมาเรียนไหมจะฝ่าฝนไปเนี่ยเราก็เห็นว่าเตรียมร่มติดขาตั้งกล้องนี้ไปนะเดี๋ยวเราไปกันถ้าไม่มีใครมาเรียนก็เดี๋ยวจะมาแสดงให้ดูว่าเราจะเปลี่ยนไส้กรองเครื่องกรองน้ำนี่อย่างไรนะครับโดยผมมีไส้กรองที่ได้รับตอนนี้มันมีปลวกเกือบกินไว้แล้วนะครับเป็นไส้กรองที่เขาแถมมากับเครื่องกรองน้ำบ้านพ่อแม่นะครับก็คิดว่ามันไม่ได้กินข้างในเนาะเดี๋ยวแกะมาเปลี่ยนได้เฉพาะไส้แรกนะครับไส้2ไส้3ก็เดี๋ยวเราดูว่าสภาพมันแย่แค่ไหนเนาะถ้าเปลี่ยนออกมาแล้วตอนนี้ก็ไปทางนู้นกันก่อนนะครับไปดูที่ศาลารวมโลกของเราก่อนวันนี้ไลฟ์แบบปกตินะครับไม่ได้ใช้ Camera 5 Live นะตอนนี้ผมก็จะเสียบมือถือเข้ากับขาตั้งกล้องattaching mobile phone to the tripod it works pretty well except that the angle may be not so good. Let's see whether I can adjust it a little bit like this may be better. อันนี้ก็เปิดเป็นข่าวของ
I get the most profound teaching moments when I'm with younger students. They're always teaching me new things and making me even more excited to write. So would love to mentor and be mentored. What does it feel like when you're reciting the poem?
ไปกัน Okay, let's go to United World Pavilion. Let's see my face now. Walk there. See my face and see everything. Very convenient when you use just one camera. Just one mobile phone to do everything. I'm gonna go there. Open the dawn see who will be there Are you happy? See, rain is not a big problem for us because there's no traffic jam here การจราจรยังไงก็ไม่ติดขัดนะครับถ้าเราใช้วิธีการเดินเอานะครับมนุษย์เราพอไปใช้รถมันก็เลยรถติดนะครับถ้าเราใช้การเดินก็คงจะไม่ค่อยมีคนติดเท่าไหร่ไปกันทำโอ้เห็นอะไรไหมกล้องน่าจะดูไม่ชัดนะครับจะมีพวกนกตัวขาวๆขายาวๆเขาเรียกว่านกกระสาละมั้งนะชอบมาเล่นแถวนี้นะครับในช่วงเวลานี้แล้วเราก็ดูอย่างที่ผมบอกเมื่อวานเนาะว่าใบมะม่วงเนี่ยมันกำลังกินได้ครับในช่วงนี้โอ้โหนะต้นนี้เนี่ยออกมาเยอะเลยเดี๋ยวเก็บไปกินมื้อค่ำดีกว่ามื้อกลางวันเนี่ยกินกับใบอะไรบ้างอ่ะมื้อกลางวันก็ใบผักอันนั้นที่แม่ให้มาปลูกแล้วก็มีใบมันด้วยนะมียอดมันแล้วก็มีใบไม้ป่าอันนึงแล้วก็เดี๋ยวขากลับเราจะเก็บใบมะม่วงนี้ไปกินด้วยนะยอดมะม่วงเนี่ยแล้วลืมเอาถุงมาเนาะไม่เป็นไรมือถือไปก็ได้ไม่ได้เก็บเยอะนะครับเดี๋ยวนี้ไม่ได้กินผักมากเหมือนอย่างเดิมแล้วเขาบอกว่าโน่นเห็นไหมเห็นนกขาวๆไหมครับโอ้ you see the white birds over there they're flying see แล้วมันมีใบไม้หลายอย่างที่ทดลองกินแล้วแถวนี้ก็กินได้กินดีใบว่าใบอะไรหลายอย่างโอ้แตกยอดหน่อยอีกว้าวน่ากินทั้งนั้นเลย คือเอาไปผสมกินรวมกันแล้วเดี๋ยวนี้ก็ไม่ปั่นละเพราะอะไรจะใช้วิธีการเอามืออะไรนะขยำให้มันเอามือบิดเนี่ยให้มันเล็กๆหน่อยก็กินใช้ช้อนตักได้ละโอเค I just explain that the mango leaves they are about to be eaten got young leaves that can be eaten and other plants many plants have edible leaves as a tribe oh see the view very good right and now you are protected under the umbrella oh I love this setting so much ชอบจังดูหน้าตัวเองหน่อยท่ามกลางสายฝนอะไรที่แปลกมากนะกล้องเนี่ยมือถือนี่กดด้วยนิ้วชี้ไม่ค่อยไปนิ้วโป้งไปดูนี่เห็นไหมเห็นสายฝนตกตามร่มแต่ว่าเราก็อยู่ใต้สายฝนก็ประมาณสิบางทีก็ไปนะสัตว์นี้ของน้าใหญ่น้าติ๋มเต็มอยู่ใบไม้ก็ต่ำเหลือเกินตอนนี้เรามาที่ศาลารวมโลกของเราพื้นก็จะแฉะหน่อยแต่ว่าผมใส่รองเท้าบูทนี่ดูทางเข้าสรุปคือว่าไม่มีใคร so no students of course because it rained today and even there's no rain there wouldn't be any students ก็ขนาดถ้าฝนไม่ตกก็ยังไม่มีคนมาเรียนนะครับดังนั้น ไม่ต้องแปลกใจที่วันนี้ฝนตกอย่างนี้แล้วจะไม่มีใครมานะครับทั้งแบบตัวจริงและแบบออนไลน์ ยังไม่เห็นใครโผล่มาเลยก็ไม่เป็นไรนะครับอนุสาวรีย์ศาลารวมโลกของเราก็ยังสวยงามเสมอเย้อายุแฮปปี้โอ้โห ก็ต้นไม้ของเราก็ยังดูดีอันนี้ก็เลยยังเติมน้ำที่บ้านก็ยังไม่ได้ไม่มีโอกาสจะเติมเลยฝนมันตกบ่อยเอาละกลับไปสรุปว่าวันนี้ไม่มีคนมาเรียนไฟของเราเป็นไงเดี๋ยวเมื่อคืนเนี่ยใช่ไหมที่เรานั่งทำงานอยู่ก็เปิดไฟเนี่ยไฟมันก็แค่จะเนี่ยเห็นไหมไม่ค่อยจะสว่างให้ทำเท่าไหร่แต่ก็ยังดีกว่าไม่มีเนาะโอเคปิดเอาไว้นี่นะครับใครมาเที่ยวอนุสาวรีย์รวมโลกและศาลารวมโลกนี้นะครับปลั๊กไฟก็อยู่ตรงนี้อยู่ข้างตู้อาหารตู้กับข้าวเพื่อชาวโลกเนี่ยแล้วก็แต่ถ้ายังไม่ค่อยมีอาหารน้ำยังพอมีกินอยู่นะครับเดี๋ยวเราจะไปเปลี่ยนเครื่องกรองน้ำแล้วก็ใส่กรองเครื่องกรองน้ำแล้วผมก็จะกินน้ำจากเครื่องกรองน้ำนี่แหละว่าจะเดินทางด้วยรถมอเตอร์ไซค์รถจักรยานไฟฟ้าเป็นหลักแล้วก็จะไม่มีรถยนต์ไปขนถังใส่น้ำมาจากบ้านพ่อแม่แล้วนะครับจะกรองน้ำแบบแค่พอกินนี่แหละให้รู้ไปว่ากรองไม่ดีเท่าไรจะตายไหมเดี๋ยวเรามากินด้วยกันใครที่มาเยือนศาลารวมโลกก็กินน้ำเหมือนกันกับที่ผมกินนี่แหละนะเพราะเมื่อก่อนยังเป็นแค่อันนี้ก็ออกมาจากถังนี่เฉยๆก็ยังกินกันได้เลยเนาะสวัสดีครับในที่สุดเราก็มีคนมาดู1 คนใช่ไหมเดี๋ยวผมให้ดูหน้าผมปั๊บสวัสดีครับพี่โกรวมโลกขอgood afternoon นะครับขอเสียง hello วันนี้เราเดินออกมาจากศาลารวมโลกเห็นไหมนี่ฝนตกเยอะอยู่วิวสวยไหมชอบมากต้นพุทราที่มันไม่เกิดให้นะครับนี่ก็ป้ายติดป้ายชี้แจงการดูแลอนุสาวรีย์รวมโลกของผมซึ่งมีใครอ่านให้มั่งไหมเนาะใส่จะไม่มีต้นชมพู่น้ำดอกไม้ทางนู้นก็ไม่ได้ออกผลิดอกออกผลในตอนนี้นะครับแต่ออกใบเยอะอันนี้ใบก็กินได้นะคิดว่าเดี๋ยวเราลองเก็บใบมันไปกินด้วยดีกว่านี่พยายามจะปลูกต้นไม้อีกปลูกอะไรดีนะปลูกต้นขี้เหล็กก็โดนลากกินไม่รอดหลายต้นนี่อันนั้นคือยางนานะครับนี่โตแล้วแต่ว่าเราจะเอาอันนี้ไปกินใบของชมพู่น้ำดอกไม้เห็นไหมขอยอดหนึ่งอย่าหวงยอดไหนอีกยอดไหนช่วยก็ยอดข้างกันนั่นแหละสวยยอดนี้จะได้ไม่สวยเท่าไหร่แต่ก็พอกินได้ครับเนี่ยน่ากินไหมนี่บางทียอดว่า ต้นนี้ผมก็ชอบเอาไปกินเหมือนกันนะเนี่ยแต่ว่าตอนนี้มันไม่มียอดนะมีนิดนึงใบอ่อนก็แก่พอสมควรละยังพอกินได้จริงๆพวกไม่รู้เป็นไงนะครับไอ้พวกใบไม้พวกนี้เนี่ยถ้าเป็นพวกแมลงหรือหนอนเนี่ยมันจะกินใบที่แก่นะสังเกตอย่างนี้นะเห็นไหมมีแต่ใบแก่ที่ถูกกินold leaves are eaten by the insects or worms but for young leaves like this the insects don't eat them I don't know why but for human like me I prefer to eat the young leaves I have tried eating the old leaves like this but yeah they are edible but maybe it's better to eat the young leaves okay let's bring this back home too we got pretty much already แต่ว่าถ้าเป็นใบพวกจริงๆใบของอันนี้เนี่ยไม่มีแมลงแทบไม่มีแมลงกินเลยนะเลยไม่กล้ากินไอ้ดอกสีขาวเนี่ยแต่ดอกมันน่าจะกินได้นะเพราะท่านนายซาโนบุฟุกุโอกะบอกว่าดอกไม้แทบทุกชนิดกินได้แล้วก็อันเนี้ยใบของใบอ่อนของอะไรนะฝรั่งถ้าน่าจะกินได้เหมือนกันต่อ now we have quite many leaves already you think how much weight is this maybe about 50 grams already อาจจะเก็บได้สักประมาณ50 กรัมแล้วนะครับซึ่งปริมาณไฟเบอร์ที่เขาแนะนำให้กินกันต่อวันเนี่ยประมาณเท่าไหร่นะ200 กรัมมั้งเนาะโดยให้เป็นไฟเบอร์ที่ไม่ละลายน้ำสักประมาณ60 กรัมใน1 ใน 4นะครับแล้วก็ไฟเบอร์ที่ละลายน้ำ1 ใน 4พวกจากถั่วอะไรเนี่ยแล้วไฟเบอร์ที่ไม่ละลายน้ำอีกประมาณที่เหลือนั่นแหละ3 ใน 4เฮ้ยอันนี้เนี่ยใบอะไรเนี่ยผมว่าใบว่านะเนาะนี่แหละยอดอ่อนของว่าเลยกำลังพอกินเลยเห็นไหมนอกจากยอดของว่านี่ก็ยอดว่าเหมือนกันนี่หว่าทีแรกนึกว่าห่วงไทรนึกว่าต้นห่วงไทรไม่ใช่ว่าเหมือนกันโอ้นี่ยอดห่วงไทรอยู่นี่ครับนี่แหละโอ้โหน่ากินมากเลยเป็นพวงแต่เราเก็บจากพวงล่างดีกว่าเพราะว่าพวงล่างนี่ยังไงมันก็กีดขวางทางเดินนะครับมันต้องตัดอยู่แล้วเอามากินมันซะเลยนี่โอ้โหยอดgood now we have many leaves to eat I love it ตาดาเป็นการเห็นไหมว่าเราไม่จำเป็นถ้าเราปล่อยให้ต้นไม้พวกนี้เจริญเติบโตนะครับเราก็ไม่จำเป็นต้องปลูกผัก we do not need to grow vegetables if we let these trees grow now I see these mango leaves mango leaf to a lot of young leaves to collect and harvest to pick มียอดให้เก็บเยอะแยะเลยยอดมะม่วงอ่อนๆทั้งนั้นนะครับโอ้โหกินได้วิตามินมากเลยนะวันนี้เอาละแค่นี้ก็อาจจะขี้เกียจกินแล้วมั้ง เป็นไงล่ะเอาใบแก่ๆด้วยสักหน่อยดีกว่าเนาะใบที่แก่นิดนึงด้วยนี่หลายรุ่นหลายอายุได้ความหลายยังอยากได้ใบสะเดาจริงๆใบสะเดาตอนกลางวันก็กินไปแล้วนะแต่ว่ากินอีกก็น่าจะดีอ่อนๆด้วยใบสะเดาก็นี่แหละ หาง่ายไหมสะเดาเขาเยอะทั้งนี้ใบสะเดานี่ปกติเขาก็ไม่กินกันเยอะ เพราะว่ามันขมผมก็จะเอาไปสักใบนึงก็จะพยายามเลือกไอ้ที่มันดูสะอาดอันนี้ก็ได้เอาไปเลือกกินสัก4-5 ใบจริงใบขี้เหล็กยอดขี้เหล็กเล็กๆก็กินได้นะวันนี้ยังไม่ได้กินยอดขี้เหล็กเลยแล้วจะไก่มันกลัวผมไก่กัน เพราะว่าเมื่อก่อนบรรพบุรุษของมันเคยมาขี้ใส่อันนั้นขี้ใส่บ้านผมเลยไล่มาทีนี้ไม่รู้มันไปบอกกันนะไก่ทั้งหมดพากันกลัวผมหมดเลยนี่อันนี้ใบขี้เหล็กนะครับเราจะเข้าบ้านเราชุบนี่ยอดขี้เหล็กนี่เราจะไม่กินเยอะนะครับเอาแค่นี้เดียวก็พอมาแล้วมันดีโคตรเลยขาตั้งกล้องติดร่มนะด้านของเราอันนี้ยังไม่ได้เอาจักรยานมาตั้งนะครับเพราะว่าจะรอให้ฝนมันหมดดีๆแล้วอันนี้เตาของเรายังปลอดภัยแต่ว่ามีพวกชอบกินขาเตานะครับแต่ก็ไม่หนักหนาก็คอยไล่มันมาโอ้จะเอาวางไว้ที่ไหนล่ะผักพวกนี้เรามีที่ของเราครับนั่นก็คือนี่ฮะเป็นไงล่ะแล้วนี่คือผักแต่ไม่ใช่ทั้งหมดที่เราจะกินเย็นนี้นะครับเพราะว่าเรายังมีอันนั้นด้วยนะเรายังมีมะพร้าวที่จะผ่าพร้อมกับมะละกอและมะเฟืองพร้อมกับกล้วยก็เยอะเลยส่วนเป็นกล้วยดิบก็กินได้นะครับลองกินเอาละมะละกอด้วยนะครับมะละกอมะเฟืองอยู่ในตู้เย็นก็มีแล้วก็มะพร้าวซะก่อนเอามาจากบ้านพ่อแม่นี่ยังเหลืออยู่ประมาณ4 ลูกนะครับก็อ้อยด้วยเมื่อตอนวันกินเดี๋ยวนี้ใช้วิธีปาดเอานะครับปาดเอาง่ายๆแล้วก็กินแต่ละครั้งก็ไม่ได้เยอะนะครับเอาแค่พอได้ความหวานนิดหนึ่งแล้วก็ได้กากใยของอ้อยไม่กินน้ำตาลนะครับแต่กินอ้อย So now I eat sugar canes too, but I eat only a little amount at a time, and I can peel it very easily with a knife. Now I learned many things. I learned how to enjoy the nature.เดี๋ยวจะไปปิดประตูแล้วเดี๋ยวเรามาทำเครื่องกรองน้ำกันบอกตอนนี้ฝากท่านดูให้ทุกท่านดูอันนี้ไปครั้งก่อนแล้วกันชีวิตรอมิสเตอร์
Streaming straight to you anytime, anywhere.
You're watching ABC News Live. Thanks for streaming with us.
ต้องการได้สิครับ
Comedy for me was a great shield. It's a great way to keep people out. Comedy is a defense and also a weapon. You can use it to decimate people, and to defend things, to hold people back, to diffuse them by if they laugh, they won't hurt you.
There's this guy coming, the funniest thing in the world, and even tornadoes couldn't keep up with that kind of energy that he brought.
Robin Williams is the Tasmanian devil of stand-up comedy.
Mayday! 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 He'd go from A to Z, like lightning. Robin would go this way, that way, this way.
There were more coming out per second than anybody else.
None. The type of person that just jumps in the deep end and sees what happens.
Nobody had ever seen anything like it.
It was like
มันได้แค่เนี้ย
with the friggin' Beatles or something.
He was a huge star, but he was also overindulging in everything.
Robin was a guy seeking the high a lot. There was a
แค่นี้ก็
voraciousness about
ดู
him.
แค่นี้เนาะ
Seeking the extreme.
He was feeling a lot of pressure.
There are bouts of depression beginning to display symptoms of a truly hideous disease.
The fact that he took
จริ
his
งๆแล้ว
own
มันเข้า
life
มาในบ้าน
seemed to
แล้ว
come
นะ
completely.
ร่มออกก็ได้เนาะ
It broke my heart. I was
ร่ม
just
อเมริกา
shocked. I just couldn't put it together.
Why had him at that early age? I lost part of my heart.
He really was, he really was a funny, brilliant, loving guy.
He left us this is who the hell I am. Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm also outrageous too. That's me, computers is me, running is me, performing is me, being in love is me. It's all of this wonderful thing that you say your whole life. You go, that's great. You're not going to get another Robin Williams. He was a meteor that came to the world. He was a good
Superstar Robin Williams. The powerful and moving new event special. Wednesday night at 10/9 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
ก็เปลี่ยนมาใช้เอเซอร์เป็นหลักนะครับ เพราะว่าไอ้เจ้าโตชิบ้าเครื่องใหญ่เครื่องใหม่กว่านั้นดันพังไปก่อนเอเซอร์นี่ก็วันนี้ก็ออกอาการแปลกๆนะครับเหมือนจะมีปุ่มคีย์บอร์ดอะไรค้างอยู่ก็ใช้ได้ไม่สมบูรณ์ดังนั้นเราไลฟ์ด้วยมือถือเนี่ยมือถือราคาถูกกว่าคอมพิวเตอร์แต่เหมือนมันทำงานได้เสถียรกว่าเนาะมันอะไรอ่ะมันปัญหาจุกด้านซอฟต์แวร์น้อยกว่าด้านซอฟต์แวร์ด้วยฮาร์ดแวร์ด้วยนี่ขอบคุณนะครับขอบคุณคุณร่มนะครับนี่ขอบคุณคุณร่มถอดออกแล้ว thanks the umbrella I have to move
the ultimate soldier. And yet the movie we're talking about today is called The Bank. What happened? This guy has no superpower. What?
He's a regular guy that talks a lot.
He's a regular guy. What was that like for you?
It was great. As a producer on this project, I had the opportunity to come together with Jordan Olfe and, develop the story about
Bernard Garrett, who in the 1950s, 60s grew to own the largest commercial building in downtown Los Angeles, which a lot of people don't know.
No, nobody did. What's great about it?
No, and all of it was taken away from him by the federal government.
Well, we're all accustomed to that. This is what happened. But no, it is a story about your character and Samuel L. Jackson, who plays Joe Morris.
Right.
You guys couldn't do it. Whether it was Texas or California, they said, no African-American guy is going to own a bank.
Right, right.
As we're watching these two men in this movie.
นี่คือการ
But they,
ครับ
it's that's what it's It's there for you to throw it at me
That's
or
it.
enjoy it and eat. That's the way it should work. But in order to even come into the bank that they own, first they have to, Nicholas Hoult plays the white guy
Right.
that comes in and pretends he's owning the bank
Right.
or in control of the bank. And when you guys come in, you have to basically dress as janitors to just look at things.
Right. Well, at that point in time, it was wildly against the law for black people in any way, shape, or form to have financial freedom and security. So when Joe and Bernard decided to buy the bank, they were literally giving loans to people in the neighborhood so they can fix up their homes, fix up their businesses, and grow the black wealth in the neighborhood. When the FDIC heard they were doing that, they came in and the feds shut them down. I mean, look, it's been going on. If you look at the story of Black Wall Street, there were billionaires and millionaires, a whole black institution of wealth in Oklahoma. The federal government came in. It's the only time bombs were dropped on American soil was by the American military on African Americans. So it's not something new. It's just a different way of executing that way of keeping people impoverished.
And you wanted this story to be told, or
Yeah.
you wouldn't be the producer on the movie as well as the star.
Yeah, for me, financial literacy is very important. And, you know, it was funny. We were shooting Avengers, Infinity War, and I went to Sam Jackson. I was like, please do this movie with me. And he read it. And I had brought a bunch of movies to Sam, and he had always said no. And I
Really?
thought, yeah.
It wasn't
always said
very
no.
friendly.
And literally, this one, he
I can
read
hear him say,
Pretty much. With this one, when he read it, he was blown away by it. He was so intrigued by the story of the financial freedom. And then I went to Nia Long and I contacted a friend. I was like, if I can have 2 months where Nia Long plays my wife, all will be right tomorrow.
life is
And
good.
I got lucky.
And it happened.
Yeah.
You know, you're basically a theater guy. You started.
Yeah, I started on the stage.
Doing these movies. What was the first? Was 8 Mile the first
อันนี้
one?
เป็นข่าวของ
actually,
ABC News Live
First, the popcorn.
เรายังมี
You are just a mess.
My first
Yeah,
movie
like-
was this movie called Brother to Brother.
หลายเจ้าให้ดูนะครับที่เป็นข่าวภาษาอังกฤษ
Then we went away.
ถ้าเรา
And I
เซิร์ช
shot 8 Mile, came back,
search.
and we finished it. That was the
ใน
first
การ
movie I
ค้น
ever
หา
did.
เนี่ยเราก็ค้นด้วยคำว่า
I am. Born and raised.
ค้น
Southern
ด้วย
Virginia.
คำว่า
That's it. I was talking to somebody here and I mentioned your name and they said, New Orleans. You know, that was it. It's good. I thought they would scream, oh, yes, Falcon.
No, it's very important to me that
เรา
everybody
นำให้
knows.
ดูนะครับอีก11 วัน
All the time. It's the best city in the world.
วันที่
See, look at that
28
loyalty
ตุลา
that
คม
exists in this world.
Well, this is
5
crawfish and daiquiri season. So, you know, you have to
Mardi
understand.
Gras just ended.
When Mardi Gras ends, the crawfish begin.
5 ทุ่มเวลา
That's the
With
phrase.
the daiquiri.
That's it. That's it.
They're in the water.
That's it. That's it. Go to the lakefront. Get your rocks on.
That's what
That's it.
Look, Anthony, you have this tremendous career where you're just busy. I don't know how you managed to fit in
เดี๋ยว
the things
Crawfish
that
and
you...
daiquiris.
No, I believe that
เราเสิร์ชหาคำว่า
you seem like a sane individual.
News
So you should
Live
always be
English
doing
อะไรอย่างเงี้ยเนี่ยนะครับ ตอนนี้เป็นของ ABC เนาะยังมีเจ้าอื่นที่น่าสนใจอย่าง We On เนี่ย We All World Is One เนี่ยก็
after
น่า
the
สนใจแล้ว
Avengers
ก็
and what goes on in it, that
DW
you're
นี่
also
ก็
going to do Altered
จัด
Carbon.
รายการได้
What's
ดีนะครับ
Well, Alter
เป็น
Carbon
ของเยอร
was
มันอันนี้ของอินเดีย
special
อันนี้ของอเมริกา
When
นะ
that
ครับ
came to me, I was
ABC
just,
แล้วก็ยัง
I
มี
had
อัล
never
จา
done
ซีรา
streaming.
ของ
I had
ส
never
หรัฐ
worked on
อาห
a
รับ
TV
เอมิเรตส์นะครับ
episode.
Really?
No,
ในกรุงดู
You
ไบ
weren't
นะ
one of
ค
those
รับ
actors.
ก็
Come on,
มี
I've
ใคร
only done movies. I did
เรา
one
จะดูของ
episode of Law and Order.
ลองดูของ World Is One บ้างนะครับ
I did Law and Order because
counterpart. Besides this, is also expected to have high-level engagements with the Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. We'll be calling on the Israeli President, the National Security Advisor, besides also meeting with the Indian Foreign Minister,
หันเครื่อง
and
กรอง
we'll be
น้ำ
interacting with Indian origin Jewish community that has now taken citizenship in Israel, Indologists, Indian students who are studying in Israel, and also Indian businessmen who also have some business interests in the state of Israel. On the eve of Jaishankar's visit to Israel, Israel's Foreign Secretary Alan Ushpiz, as well as Israel's envoy to India, have tweeted their welcome for Jaishankar, describing India as a kind of a strategic partner and also a very close friend of the state of Israel. Now, India and Israel, remember, have gotten closer in the last couple of decades. Although India had recognized the Jewish state of Israel way back in 1950, it had only established full diplomatic relations in 1992. And since then, there's been a steady upswing in terms of the closeness and proximity between the two nations. Especially since Narendra Modi took charge as the Prime Minister in India, the India-Israel ties have of course become much closer. Now, India and Israel have elevated their bilateral relations to what is being described as a strategic partnership. And this happened when the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Israel in 2017. Now, the relationship between the two countries, of course, is focused on expanding knowledge-based partnerships, which includes collaboration in innovation and research, including the boosting of the Make in India initiative. And over the years, both nations have developed some very close cooperation and ties on issues such as intelligence sharing and counter-insurgency operations. What is also interesting is that India in the last couple of decades has become a very major purchaser of the Israeli-made arms. Now, Israel also happens to be one of the key partners of India in agriculture as well. The thousands of pro-military protesters took to the streets in Sudan's capital, Khartoum. They demanded for the dissolution of the transitional government, and they also called on the army to take control of the country. The protest has come as demonstrators have blamed the present administration for the ongoing economic and political turmoil in the country. Remember, military and civilian groups have been sharing power since the ouster of the Sudanese former president Omar al-Bashir in 2019.
ข่าวเรื่องอะไรเนี่ย political crisis deepening
However,
สุดา
tensions
น
have
สุดาน
escalated
นะครับ
since a coup attempt
มี
that's
วิ
been
กฤต
attributed to
ทาง
forces
การ
that
เมือง
are loyal,
political
that are still
crisis
loyal to Omar al-Bashir. And
นี่
this
เรามา
coup
ดูอัน
attempt
นี้
was
กัน
foiled
นี่
early in
คื
the
อ
month of
สิ่งที่เรา
September.
เจอนะครับ
And since then, the military leaders have been demanding for
ตัวเปลี่ยน
reforms
สอง
to
อั
the
น
Forces for Freedom and Change Alliance, which is a coalition between the civil and the military groups. However, civilian leaders say that the demands are a part of a power grab from the
นี่
armed
ว่าเรา
forces.
จะเปลี่ยนได้หรือเปล่าเฮ้ยขนาด
The
นี้
latest protests in Sudan's Khartoum were organized by a military-aligned faction of the FCC, including the armed groups that rebelled against Omar al-Bashir. The protesters who gathered outside the presidential palace also chanted slogans which said, "Down with hunger government." And they also called for General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, who is the head of the armed forces in Sudan's Joint Military-Civilian Sovereign Council, to initiate a coup and overthrow the government.
We are behind the army and behind Burhan. There is no one but the army. The army is what we love and what makes us feel safe. The army is able, they are able to protect the country and lead it properly. When someone is afraid, they go and hide. But the only place we have to hide behind is these armed forces. These armed forces are the basis for safety. Where did these problems come from? I don't know. We welcome everyone. They came here with a foreign agenda in order to improve things, but nothing has improved.
Meanwhile, it was only a day ago that the Sudanese Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok presented a roadmap to try and navigate the route out of the current political and economic turmoil in Sudan.
วันนี้เป็นวันที่ฝนตกและอากาศเย็นนะครับก็เลยแต่งตัวซักเต็มยศมีเสื้อแขนยาวกางเกงขายาว
The Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg has said that the upcoming climate talks in Glasgow billed as humanity's last chance to avoid catastrophic global warming are unlikely to lead to any big changes. Greta Thunberg has urged activists to keep on pushing for real change to happen. Greta Thunberg also surprised the crowd with the Climate Live concert in Stockholm by delivering a dance rather than a speech this time round.
ดูการเปลี่ยนอันนี้นะ เมื่อวานไอ้เจ้าอันนั้นก็ทำงานได้ดีเนาะ Camera Firefly ก็ถือว่าผ่านนะที่มันเล่นวิดีโอ YouTube ไปด้วยพร้อมกับเห็นหน้าผมไปด้วยในกล้องแม้ว่ามันจะไม่ทำอะไรได้ไม่มากเหมือนอย่าง OBS Studio ในแล็ปท็อปนะแต่ว่ามันก็ความสะดวกของมัน
Speaking on the sidelines of the climate concert, Thunberg doubted if the world leaders will in fact be able to set any substantial climate targets at the COP26 conference.
ก่อนที่จะแกะอันนี้แล้วปิดวาล์วปิดอยู่แล้ววาล์วน้ำปิดอยู่แล้ว
I mean, my hopes are, of course, that someday we will realize that we are facing an existential crisis and act after that, according to that. But that will most likely not happen if you think realistically.
The Thunberg's Fridays for Future movement has inspired massive street protests around the world, especially by youngsters. He said that activists need to keep pushing for real change.
สายน้ำที่ต่อตรงนี้นะครับ เราก็ต้องแกะโอ้ก็บอกว่าเราพยายามจะเอียงกล้อง
The COP26 meeting in Scotland, being held from the 31st of October until 12th of November, will be the biggest climate conference since landmark talks in Paris in 2015. And it is also seen as a crucial step in setting worldwide emission targets to slow down global warming. The Thunberg believes that international summits like COP26 have the potential of changing things since they gather so many of these top world leaders together.
Well, as it is now, they are not. But they have a potential of changing things since they could gather so many people together. So we need to make sure that we use that opportunity to actually change things.
The Glasgow gathering will try to persuade major developing economies to do more to cut their carbon emissions and also to get the rich world to cough up billions more to help the poorer nations to adapt to climate change. Last month, the United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres had warned that a failure to slash global emissions is setting the world on a catastrophic path to 2.7 degrees Celsius heating, and that figure would shatter the temperature targets of the Paris Climate Agreement, which aimed for warming well below 2 degrees Celsius and preferably capped at 1.5 degrees Celsius to above pre-industrial levels. Millions of young people joined Greta Thunberg's Fridays for Future movement, skipping school to protest for action against climate change. Thunberg will also be leading a climate strike on the 22nd of October, which will see young people join from around the world ahead of the United Nations Climate Change Conference.
So across the globe, we are going to go on a global climate strike on the 22nd of October. It follows up from our September 24th climate strike where we had over 800,000 strikers across the world. And it's so exciting because this one we're really focusing on the intersectional problems of the climate crisis, how it's rooted in colonialism and this profit-oriented system that's really exploiting countries most vulnerable to the climate crisis. And so this coming Friday, we're going to go out again and demand for climate justice to uproot the system.
The police in Peru have seized nearly about 5 tons of drugs following anti-narcotics operations nationwide. On Friday, the dozens of bags that were seized of marijuana and cocaine were put out on display and were guarded by soldiers in the streets of Lima. The 4.9-ton haul is made up of some 3 tons of marijuana and about a ton of cocaine that was seized from a number of different locations, including a jungle area in Costco. According to police colonel, the drugs are believed to be worth almost about $200 million in the black market internationally. Peru and Colombia are the world's top producers of cocaine, according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. Artificial intelligence is a thriving field of emerging technologies that in a nutshell allows computers to think, understand and act. AI systems can achieve a variety of different feats such as problem solving, comprehension, movement, making predictions and also classification. Now, in the coming decade, AI is expected to change the way that we live. But the question that a lot of people ask is, can it even produce good music? And let's go get you the details. This is how music could be made in the future. Listen carefully. But don't be fooled. This music is Beethoven's 10th Symphony, but it wasn't completed by the music genius. Over 250 years ago, just before his death, Beethoven had written down some fragments of what experts now widely believe would have been his 10th Symphony. And this music you now listen to has been compiled and given its final form through AI. We took these and translated them in MIDI, the music language, which we then copied into the AI system. Afterwards, the AI interpolated them because it learned how Beethoven composed, how Beethoven developed, and gave us methods and variations back. I always received those the morning after I sent them, and this was interesting. I was sending a few files with those seeds, those themes to Elagamo in the evening. Because of the time difference, in the morning I got up early, quite excited, and ran to my computer to find hundreds of possibilities, which were formulated overnight, well during my night. And it was always a beautiful morning occupation, drinking tea and coffee, while listening and choosing those Beethoven inspirations. The AI was fed with data to analyze and learn all the Beethoven's artistic legacy. But the critics of this method aren't totally convinced. Beethoven composed his best music when he was lovesick, and the artificial intelligence software, although really good at crunching data, was never lovesick, never drunk, and never poured cold water on its head, as Beethoven often did while composing music. So how good is the music crunched out by AI? According to experts, the final product that is being played here needed a lot of fine-tuning. So it will be some time before AI begins to crunch out some soulful melody. Bureau Report, we all, Wild is One. Alright, let's also now take a quick look at what is making news in the world of sports. But the International Olympic Committee has turned FIFA's plans to hold a men's football World Cup every 2 years as a bit of a threat to other sports. The controversial proposal, which is to be voted on in December, will see the World Cup clash with several other major sporting events in the calendar, including the Olympic Games. The IOC also has said that it believes that the proposal will have a detrimental impact on gender equality in football, while also increasing the physical and mental pressure on athletes. Now, FIFA's plans have previously been criticized by many continental and national federations, players groups and fans, and the IOC has called on football's governing body to undertake a wider consultation process, especially with athletes and their representatives. Great Britain's Cameron Norrie has advanced to his first ever Masters 1000 finals by brushing aside Bulgarian Grigor Dimitrov at the Indian Wells. Norrie raced to a 4-love lead before wrapping up the first set in just 31 minutes. And while Dimitrov tried to mount a comeback like he had in his win over top seed Daniel Medvedev, he appeared to run out of steam on a hot day. And 21st seed Norrie won 6-2, 6-4 and is through to his 6th final of a breakout season. His opponent in the title clash will be Nicholas Basilashvili after the Georgian ended the giant-killing run of Taylor Fritz. The world number 31 Fritz had already beaten 3 top 10 seeds, including Olympic champion Alexander Zverev in the previous rounds, but he could not find the same levels and fell to a 7-6, 6-3 defeat in an hour and 42 minutes.
มีชัวร์เห็นไหมสะอาดสะอาดสะอาดนี่ทำไมเป็นไงมั่งฮ่าโอ้โห
China has regained the Uber Cup title for a record extending 15th time after coming from behind to beat defending champions Japan with a scoreline of 3-1 in the finals. While number 5 Akane Yamaguchi beat Olympic champion Chen Yufei in the opening singles to give Japan a good start. But then China won an epic doubles contest that lasted nearly about 2 hours to level things out. The Hugh Bian-Jiao
มีคน
then
พ
beat
ยายามจะทำความสะอาดด้วย
Sayaka
กันเคาะ
Takahashi
ล้าง
with a
นะครับ
scoreline of 21-9 and 21-18 in the third singles rubber. While another tight victory in the second women's doubles sealed a victory for China, who have been relegated to a bronze medal for the last time the women's team championship
นี่
had taken place
พลา
in
สติก
Thailand
ที่
in
ห่อเนี่ย
2018.
the rubber plastic was tried to eat by the termites. I will remove this and to see whether termites are
American
damaged
Ricky
the
Fowler
filter
leads
or not.
full-time major champion Rory McIlroy by 2 shots after a high-scoring
Lord
third round of the CJ
TV
Cup in
ลง
Las
หน่อย
Vegas. Seeking his first title since February 2019, Fowler notched up 5 birdies on the front 9 and 4 in the back 9 in a round of 9 under 6.
Okay, I reduced
Which is
the
his lowest
noise.
in
I
3 years.
decreased
McIlroy had
the
started the
volume.
day 9 shots off the pace, but the Northern Irishman turned things around with a 10-under round that featured 8 birdies and also an eagle at the final hole. But there are 2 players a shot behind McIlroy at 18 under first round
เจ้า
leader
ปลว
Robert
กเอ๋ย
Streb,
เจ้าได้กิน
Abraham
ข้างในไหม
Anser, and Australia's
termite
Adam Scott.
seems like
Overnight
they
leader
have
Pete Mitchell had 2 double bogeys
anything
in a
inside,
1-over
so
round
that's
that
good.
has seen him drop to 5th position at 17 under.
inside is intact.
Well, that's all the time we have in this edition of the News Bulletin. Stay tuned.
This week on the West Asia Post. Shiite cleric Muqtada Sadr claims victory as Iraq witnesses record low voter turnout, with pro-Iranian groups denouncing the polls. Who holds the key to Baghdad's future? Also on the show this week, a judge investigating the Beirut port blast has left Lebanon divided.
ไงสะอาด
And a look at how
เยี่ยมไหม
diving into history feels
ดู
like
ดีไหม
in
ดู
Turkey.
ดีไหมไส้กรองของเรา เดี๋ยวเราจะกรองด้วยไส้นี้ แล้วก็มาเช็คอีกสักเดือนหนึ่งเนาะเอามาถอดเช็คออกเราจะกินด้วยน้ำจากไส้นี่แหละ อีก2 อันไม่ต้องเช็ค อีก2 อันเป็นไงช่างมัน เราให้ความสำคัญกับไส้แรกอันเดียวพออุ๊ยเกือบพลาดไปครับ เมื่อกี้มียังเหยียเข้าไปมีเศษสิ่งสกปรกตกเข้าไปเล็กน้อยเอาไหม
available on Spotify and Google Podcast. It's code red for humanity. The alarm bells are deafening. Wildfires, floods, and hurricanes. Extreme climate events warn of impending doom. Is the world heading towards a climate catastrophe? Watch WION's Climate Tracker weekdays at 12 p.m. GMT, 5:30 p.m. IST. It all began here. A journey that shaped Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. A movement to stand for what is right. Over a century later, on his birth anniversary, India's only national channel is here in South Africa.
จะตายไหมเนี่ย
Bring you reports from the heart of the nation.
There are some dark spots.
WION coming soon to South Africa on DSTV.
Well, only a few. This.
WION, now available on Spotify and Google Podcast.
Okay, this should be good enough.
Stay connected with the world through WION. Like the page on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter for new alerts. Instagram for videos and images. And the website for the latest news, views, and analysis. WIONews.com. World is one. WION, India's global voice. The channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, world is one.
Joe Biden, now the 46th president of the United States, has a full plate in front of him.
Afghanistan has been the heart of American military power.
In a clear warning to China, India. The military has now taken control of the country for 1 year.
What was happening inside the virology lab in Wuhan?
One ship was able to freeze global trade.
A traditional recipe. It's really very delicious.
ดีๆดีกว่าเนาะ
In 1946, a group of local dairy farmers in Gujarat joined India's nationalist movement. The Dairy Farmers Union spurred India's White Revolution under the name of Anand Milk Federation Union Limited. India became the world's biggest producer of milk and milk products, and the rest is history.
ยังไม่เปื้อนยังไม่เปื้อน
Today, the Milk Producers Union from Gujarat's Anand district has become one of the most beloved brands of India. Amul has made its way to every Indian home, from the breakfast table to the dinner table. The journey, which started with milk, has expanded into every spectrum. From butter to chocolates, from ice creams to sweets, Amul is now an iconic brand with traditional roots. Conceived by Tribhuvan Das Kishibhai Patel in 1946, revolutionized by the milkman of India, Dr. Verghese Kurian, and now led by the long-time managing director, Dr. Rupinder Singh Sodhi, Amul has come a long way since 1946. Just as its tagline claims, Amul has become the taste of India.
I'm Jasper Reed, and this is Billion Dollar Idea. We're delighted to be joined today by Rupinder Singh Sodhi, the Managing Director of Amul. A great big welcome to you, Rupinder.
Hello, namaste.
We have many guests on the show, Rupinder, who have built up unicorn businesses with great big valuations, but no one's actually heard of them. So we're delighted to have you because, of course, you're the leader of a brand that is synonymous with dairy in India, a household name. We'll get into the business in a second, but I want to take you back, if we can, to your childhood in the Punjab or when you were at high school in New Delhi. What did the young Rupinder want to be then? What were his dreams?
Thank you, Jasper. And good you are starting with the childhood because you always enjoy talking about your childhood. You can't be against the childhood, that's right. Well, I think my last 62 years life, if I see today in one line, it's more by default than design. Okay. Born in a small village on the Pakistan border, Firozpur district, had initial up to 4th education in a village school, just one room for the 5 classes. We were forced to move to Delhi because of 1965 war in Pakistan. And then got admission into the school in Alkepuram.
การลืมเราควรจะเอาปากกามาเขียนไว้นะผมว่าต่อไปต้องลืมแน่นอน
But somehow we continue. So till I can say till 8th of standard, my aspiration was I want to become like these gentlemen who morning goes the white uniform, go to BTC bus to your office, come back at 5 o'clock to the MTC. Because I used to, even since I was from village background, very hard work, day night working, shopping, that time there was no electricity also. So this was luxury. So then moved to after, but then I moved to the government school and did my high secondary. Fortunately, I got a seat in agriculture engineering at Pune. Somehow I passed the entrance of IIM Ahmedabad, but failed in the engineering. Simultaneously at that time, when advertisement came for Institute of Rural Management, ANAD, and Dr. Verghese Kurian, who was the founder of Amul and also who was implementing operations that of White Revolution, he wanted to do a rural management and he wasn't getting from the rural management. So he started IMA. Somehow I applied, I got into the bank.
Permanent marker. Got permanent marker.
40 years back, I joined Amul as a senior sales officer and then got at various levels. So today, last 11 years, I'm the managing director of this farmers cooperative of 3.6 million. Now that's what
It's a wonderful story. I hope that fellow who flunked you in the IIM interview is kicking himself afterwards.
listen.
You know, you see, the first time when I went there to deliver lecture, because they call me for their students' lecture, especially in the agriculture management Dr. Ali Gupta. So I passed through that room where I had given my interview to the first floor, to the long corridor. So I was just there, he came into my ear. I had come here. I don't know if it was good or bad. You don't know. In retrospect, it may be good, but you don't know.
Well, that's the karma. That's the karma, isn't it? And if we go back again to Firozpur, to your background, you know, in a village in Punjab, do you think that's been central to your understanding of, you know, your key stakeholders, who are the 18,500 farming cooperatives that are the backbone of AMUL? Talk to us a little bit about that, could you?
You are right, because that time I was not like. No doubt, we had WG357 and the petty IRA. And we, no labor, we have to work with the people. I mean, rather harvesting of wheat during the hour, up to high school, they used to go village in the working during all summer and winter season. Summer started with harvesting of wheat, then threshing of wheat, then by the time petty transportation, you have to transplant the petty, and then naturally doing irrigation. So, two things I get my exposure to the village community. What are the key concerns of the farming community of India? And second is, what do you mean by hard work? I mean, that is, the definition of hard work. When I compare that time of today, I think last 40 years I am in the luxury. Maybe only 10, 11 hours sitting in the air conditioning office or moving in the balcony of the AC.
So you learned those two key things, especially the value of hard work. Your founder, of course, behind you, I hope. He's also, I think, a great mentor and influence on you. What did you learn from him as a young man, as a fresher coming in?
So the first 30 years, 40 years I was in the field. So practically, no experience, just two major experience. First thing is, when I was at Jaipur, my managing director called me that our chairman, Dr. Ajit Korean, is coming to Jaipur. It was sometime 1983. So we had to receive at the airport. I went there, and when he came out with his wife, he was holding a bag. So the first question he asked me, why you come to the airport? Don't you have any job to do? And then I could follow my hand to hold his bag. He said, no, I can take care of my business. You please go back. When need be, I will call you to my hotel. So he had come for some other purpose. And when I was at Ahmedabad looking after sale, a Dhara edible oil was launched. I was just a small batch there. And every Monday morning he used to call me. He told me what is happening to Dhara edible oil in the market. What consumers are saying, what the competition is doing. So he was talking right, fellow right bottom to just to get the ground right. So I was lucky I could work with him for 31 years till in the last year. So I mean any meeting, any minute has been learning. And you know what you mean by dedication and commitment, what do you mean by integrity, what do you mean by excellence, what do you mean by taking care of farmers' interests.
And I mean, you were lucky, as you say, to have had such an astounding and accomplished mentor, and I'm sure you miss him. But do you think Dr. Kurian would be amazed at what you've achieved, having handed the baton to you? Do you think he'd be amazed? Do you think he'd be pleased? What do you think?
Yeah, I think when I became managing director, he was the first fellow from outside to call me. He was by that time he was retired, but he was busy. And the first fellow visited, I visited him after my office. In 10th June 2010. So, I think not only because before that, because I was, when I came to Anand in 1998 headquarters, and then our interaction was very, very close. So then bringing me up was, I think, he was the main. Because he had lot of confidence in people, I remember. So I think, nobody can replace me as far as the mentor to be concerned. And he's not a mentor for me, let me tell you. He is the mentor for every family who is working with me next year together in property. Because he has told us, what do you mean by professionalism? What is the job of professional? And how you can take care of farmers and consumers together and also grow and succeed. And he has also told us what is Philip Kotler way of doing marketing for a cooperative or farmers organization. What way do you think?
As we can see and as we're learning, this is an astonishingly value-based, principle-driven business. Let's talk a bit, Rupinder, about the business itself and the mechanics of the business. Amul will be seen to the vast majority of consumers or our viewers as a fairly traditional business. Yeah? But of course, even traditional businesses thrive and rely on innovation. Yeah? How do you think about innovation in Amul, Dr. Sodhi? Is it a process? Is it something that you think is without process? Talk to us a little bit about innovation in Amul.
ล้างเช็ดตรงนี้ก่อนที่จะใส่กรองไว้นะพลาดไป
To encourage, motivate, and recognize it and reward it. We started 25 years back total quality management when we have all of most of the people got to Japan and learned from the teachers. And there we came out with things such as innovation or good ideas can come from anybody. Whether you're bottom of the hierarchy or the top. And I have seen my thinking. You have to keep your eyes and ear open. When you sit in the office, when you talk to the people, you need to encourage people giving their ideas. And being a marketing person, I have seen maximum ideas. What innovations are required. Then I move into marketing. Talk to the retailers, just see what consumers are doing. Or when I go to the villages, see farmers, talk to the ladies, talk to the old ladies, talk to the widow ladies, what are their expectations, what are the market expectations, and then try to see how both can be met. And let me tell you, new product development side, we do not have any new product development team or a division. We don't have. And still, every month, 2 new products or new variants are coming. Because we believe for new products, ideas can be given by anybody, including my wife, or including my peer, or including my office, or when I'm traveling in a by air or train, somebody talking to me, or say retailer. And then we give responsibility of any idea to our production team. We have 84 daily plants. So we think that okay, new variety of sports.
การติดตั้งของผมก็เอาแบบง่ายๆคือวางตั้งบน
So we need 3-4 production units. We okay, please develop this product. They develop it. They bring to us. First, they get certified. Then my quality control team. And then when they bring to me every day 6:30, we have got a tasting session, whether of our new product or competitors' new product, or if any other improvements are required.
You make it sound very easy and democratic. I'm sure it has its challenges, but you talked about youngsters, Dr. Sodhi, and of course you've seen in your 40-year span, you've seen baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Z, millennials. So you're in an interesting position to answer the following question, which is, what have you noticed has changed in terms of your employees and co-workers? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I think anywhere, whether the baby boomers or your talk, expectations have changed. Maybe at our time, when we joined as a youngsters, we wanted to achieve something gradually. We have not many aspirations. Definitely youth has got more aspirations, but the knowledge-wise, they're much superior to what we were there. And I said, what we feel is anybody, youngsters especially, if they're given opportunity, and if you look into all of those positive aspects of that fellow, and give them responsibility, they can really perform them. But let me tell you just one thing, we are very lucky in our organization. We only recruit people young, 22, 23, 24 years, directly from the college, whether management school, just the management school, or veterinary school, or dairy technology. And then we bring them. I mean, like me, I'm there for the last 40 years. So is my whole team at top level, all are on their first job. So basically, our job is when you recruit these raw, young, very enthusiastic, very energetic people, how to transfer DNA of DNA, which we have taken from Dr. Varghese Puri and Tribhuvan Patel, who were the founders, brought Dr. Varghese Puri into them. So that the purity of DNA is maintained. We do not only basically crossing of DNA. No crossing.
And you can see that the success of AML, as you describe, is based on its people. But you can also see, Rupinder, that you're a people person. You know, you've got high levels of empathy, you're a great communicator. Where did that come from?
No. Let me tell you, I was never on this stage till I think I joined the government. And in the first, last one, because there was no opportunity. I never won any medal or award or prize, whether in the technique or in the sports. I was not middle, slightly up ranker, but jack of all things, master of nothing.
Well, you're an inspiration to people who are sitting at school at the moment thinking they're kind of an ordinary Joe or an ordinary Jysol. And that's wonderful to hear. Let's turn our attention, Rupinder, to the strategy of the sector that you're in. I was up in Kasuli a few days ago and I was trying to make a cup of tea, and all I could find was cashew milk. I was hoping for cow milk or coffee, but there was only cashew milk. And at the same time, you're reading the newspapers about companies like Oatly,
เดี๋ยวเราจะเอาเสียบเข้าไปนะ
multi-billion-dollar valuation. Do you see that whole world of alternative milk, substitute milks as
I'm gonna connect
an
the
opportunity or as a threat?
little piping to the purifier.
All Indian companies, all multinational, that's the multinational try to enter India and get their share in the benefit is so in market in the state like Karo Dairy, now there is complete Indian cooperative or the Indian company because of the supply chain efficiency. And we operate in very, very small market and naturally very efficiently. So now everybody thinks how to take life out of this. After going to market, and then this plant, so-called plant, this for
เสียบเข้าไป
That's fascinating, and you've got a very stout defence of traditional milk. And based on, I think I bought a pint of almond milk the other day, and it practically bankrupted me. So it's an expensive item.
Well, you what is the reason? Factory manufacturing chemical fortified, very expensive, one step of the nutrition.
Right, I'm going to throw it out of the fridge. Now, just let's talk a bit about your key constituency, the farmers. I mean, at the moment, the farmers are all over the news. It's a controversial topic. Talk to us a bit about what you're seeing is the farmer's mindset at the moment.
You are also right that it is farmers. And when I say farmers, it is not only India.
เนี่ย
All the world.
เดี๋ยวจะ
I was a farmer.
รัดสายอัน
นี้ไว้กับ
urban India or urban what quiet farmers. All these policies are made to reduce the cost of food. The cost of food is reduced, so wages are reduced. The wages are reduced, the industries are reduced. So you see disparity all over the world is increasing between the urban and the rural.
We're coming into the final stroke now of this fascinating conversation. We could go on for hours and hours. I want to talk a little bit about you, the man. I imagine you work incredibly hard, but when you're not working, what do you enjoy? I know you enjoy morning walks and things like that, but what gets you going outside of work?
Well, frankly speaking, there's such very natural. Always like a so no club, no you can, I don't go out any different. Because when you travel, you so while the time only at home or if some guest come, then you can take them. That's all. But when I reach home after reaching the phone, I know watching TV or after every day in the year. I mean, that is all. Otherwise, when holidays come, just moving around, talking to my daughter or the granddaughter.
And just because people are always fascinated about
no hobby, nothing.
No, married to your work, the profession and I'm always lucky to have you. Just talking about holidays and out of interest, are you more of a mountain man or a seaside man, or where's your favourite holiday?
We like all, whether we have just last some years that further down to 4 months in Kashmir Valley. Then we may be going away.
เอาละทีนี้เรามาเปิดวาล์วแล้วดูว่าน้ำจะไหล
I mean,
นู้นหรือเปล่า
beaches, mountains, or just anywhere, even the sightseeing, we love that.
บางทีก็ไม่ไหลนะเพราะว่า
Well, of course, you're incredibly privileged because of your job in any case to be all around India
ถังน้ำมันไม่สูงเท่าไหร่
Rupendra, one more talk to you. Let's finish up by asking you a question that we often ask on this show, which is, when you come to the end of your innings, and God willing you have many more overs to face, how do you want people to see you when they look at you? I mean, people see Dr. Purian in a certain way, regarded in a similar way.
ตกลงมันได้กรองให้ผมไหมเนี่ยแต่ก็ต้องเชื่อถือเขาต้องไว้ใจกรองให้เราแล้วกินก็กินนะแต่ว่าตอนนี้ก็ทิ้งไว้อย่างนี้ก่อนประมาณ5 นาทีแล้วเราก็จะเริ่มกรองน้ำไว้ใช้กันจริงๆจังๆนะ Keep this running for about 5 minutes then we will start using it.
That's
really
an astonishing achievement, Rupendra. Keep doing what you're doing. We wish you all the best. We hope to have you on the show again soon. And thank you so much, Dr. Aris Sevi. Thank you.
Let me talk to you.
One World Trade Center, that is the one where the impact. Stay connected with the world through Rio. Like the page on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter for new alerts. Instagram for videos and pictures. And the website for the latest news and analysis. RioNews.com. World is one. Rio, India's global voice. The channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world.
เสร็จไปนะครับการเปลี่ยนไส้กรองเครื่องกรองน้ำ ของเราเห็นไหมน้ำไหลออกมาคาดว่าเป็นน้ำที่สะอาดพอเราจะเปลี่ยนเติมน้ำใช่ไหมแล้วก็เอามาใส่เข้าไปไม่ไหลแล้วล่ะยกขึ้นมาไม่ไหลเลย
Joe Biden, now the 46th president of the United States, has a full plate in front of him.
มันไม่ไหลแล้ว
Afghanistan has been the heart of American military power.
เหมือนว่าเอาแล้วเพิ่งจะเริ่มได้ผลละมั้งเนี่ยเพิ่งจะเริ่มเข้าไอตัวกรองใหม่นะครับคิดว่าไอตัวไส้กรองอันใหม่นะเพิ่งจะมีผลก็เลยทำให้เมื่อกี้เนี่ยอาจจะเป็นน้ำที่มันไล่กันมานะครับลมมันไล่กันมาจากไอตัวไส้กรองเก่ามันมาดันเนาะแล้วทีนี้พอเริ่มเป็นไส้กรองใหม่เริ่มทำงานก็กลายเป็นอย่างนี้นะครับติดเนี่ยเดี๋ยวรอดูกันต่อไปว่ามันจะแรงขึ้นไหมเราจะต้องรอให้ลง
It's code red for humanity. The alarm bells are deafening. Wildfires, floods, and hurricanes. Extreme climate events warn of impending doom. Is the world heading towards a climate catastrophe? Watch WION's Climate Tracker weekdays at 12 p.m. GMT, 5:30 p.m. IST.
แต่คิดว่า เดี๋ยวจะออกมาเป็นปกติอันนี้ก็รอไปก่อนรอเขาเข้าไปให้เต็มไส้กรองดีๆ
Over a century later, on this birth anniversary, India's only international channel is here.
เราทำงานสำเร็จนะผมว่ามันน่าจะสำเร็จกี่โมงละอันนี้กี่โมงเหรอเดี๋ยวดูเวลาก่อนกลับมาดูทีวีของเราดีกว่า
WION now available on Spotify and Google Podcast
นี่นะครับWIONนี่ดูได้ทั้ง Spotify และ Google Podcast ด้วยนะครับฟังเนาะ Spotify กับ Google Podcast ได้ครับแค่เป็นไอฟังเสียงเฉยๆเวลา 16:29 ครับเป็นเวลาที่ดีเราไลฟ์มาสอนมาพอสมควรแล้วสมควรแก่เวลาตอนนี้น้ำก็ยังหยดติ๊งน้อยๆอยู่นะครับยังไม่หยดเยอะแต่ว่าเราก็หวังว่ามันจะหยดเยอะในต่อไปแต่การหยดน้อยๆนี่ก็เป็นการดีเหมือนกันนะหมายถึงว่ามันก็น่าจะแสดงว่าไส้กรองของเราทำงานเนาะตอนนี้ 16:29 เดี๋ยวเราก็จะหยุดไลฟ์แต่ว่าดูหน้าผมนิดนึงsee my face Okay, I think I will stop live now. It's 4:30 p.m. we have been talking for pretty long time already, and the water, the filtered water, the purified water is still coming out very slowly.
Thank you very much for staying with us. You're watching WION World is One. Welcome to this broadcast. My name is Eric Joka, the top headlines this Sunday.
เดี๋ยวดูน้ำที่หยดแล้วก็จะจบแล้วนะครับวันนี้
The United Kingdom eases foreign trucker rules to tackle supply chain crisis. The new rules, which the government hopes to implement before Christmas, will allow foreign truck drivers unlimited travel for 2 weeks.
เขาอะไรล่ะลดผ่อนคลายเรื่องการรถบรรทุกเข้ามามั้ง
France pays tribute to school teacher Samuel Paty. It has been 1 year since he was beheaded by an Islamist extremist after showing his class a cartoon of Prophet Muhammad. Paty's murder stunned the French and the world.
มีข่าวใหญ่อะไรมั่งในโลกวันนี้หมดแล้วเฮดไลน์หัวข้อข่าว
Mourners attended a candlelit vigil in memory of lawmaker Sir David Amess, who was stabbed to death while meeting constituents. People carrying lanterns and candles gathered at Belfair's sports ground to remember Amess, who was killed the day before.
ให้เกียรติแก่สสของอังกฤษที่ถูกฆาตกรรมวิจิวเนี่ยผมไม่รู้นะแปลว่าอะไรเพิ่งเคยเห็นแคนเดลไลท์วิจิว
Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will embark on an official visit to Israel today. This will be the first high-level engagement between the Modi government and the new Naftali Bennett administration in Israel.
รัฐมนตรีพาณิชย์ของอินเดียจะไปเยี่ยมอิสราเอลมั้ง
Russia records 1,000 COVID-19 deaths over 24 hours for the first time since the start of the pandemic. More than 33,000 new infections have been reported. Country's vaccination drive is still at a standstill. The surge comes as just 32% Russians are fully inoculated. Police in Peru have seized nearly 5 tons of drugs following anti-narcotics operations nationwide. The 4.9-ton haul is made up of some 3 tons of marijuana and about a ton of cocaine substances. These drugs are believed to be worth over $200 million. A Russian actress and a film director returned to Earth after spending 12 days on the International Space Station and shooting scenes for a movie. Yulia Peresild and Klim Shipenko landed as scheduled on Kazakhstan's steppe. Russian Space Agency says the crew are feeling good.
นี่มนุษย์โลกเราที่ไปเที่ยวนอกโลกมาโอ้โหกลับบ้านแล้ว
And Leicester City and Manchester United's record unbeaten streak away from home to the thrilling 4-2 The Red Devils drop out of the top 4 even as Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester City are all victorious.
แมนยูใช่ไหมแมนเชสเตอร์ยูไนเต็ดนี่ไม่ใช่แมนซิตี้นะนี่ปั๊บโอ้โหท่าน
And welcome. The uprooted leaders from Afghanistan have resumed their efforts to establish an Afghan government in exile. This is after their first attempt last month failed to produce funds are then for the formation of an Afghan government in exile, which is expected to include Afghan leaders like Abdul Rasul, Sayyid Abdul Saleh, Ahmed Massoud, Salahuddin Rabbani,
มันไม่ได้ไหลแรงอย่างตอนแรกอะแค่หยดติ้งคือหวังว่าต่อไปจะหยดเร็วขึ้นนะจ๊ะ ถ้าขืนช้าอย่างนี้นี่พี่คงต้องรอน้องทั้งคืนถึงจะได้น้องพอดื่มสักขวดตั้งหนึ่งdrops pretty slowly very slowly now but more steadily now hope it will come out faster soon แต่ยังไงก็มีความหวังว่าเราจะได้น้ำที่สะอาดกินสะอาดขึ้นกว่าเดิมตานาโอเคจบแล้วนะครับ Thanks for watching ขอบคุณที่รับชม See you again next week เจอกันใหม่อาทิตย์หน้าครับผมสวัสดีครับจากครูโกรวมโลก from United World Teacher Go Let's unify our world